The answer may lie not only in the planisphere and the Book of Genesis, but in computer modeling of the ancient night sky. The fiery end of Sodom and Gomorrah may be corroborated by a single artifact, the Sumerian planisphere. It accurately details the positions of the stars, planets, and constellations of the night sky, and describes a strange object resembling an asteroid. Astronomers Alan Bond and Mark Hemsel believe they have translated the planisphere correctly and have traced the actual impact site of the asteroid.
We make the assumption that the astronomer is standing somewhere in southern Iraq. Therefore, from the information on the planisphere, we can construct a trajectory, a trial trajectory, derived from software that is used for predicting rocket ascent trajectories and re-entry trajectories.
But there's a bizarre twist. The data at first seems to have no connection to the tale of Sodom and Gomorrah. When that trajectory is traced forward, it strikes a strange target for a Bible disaster. Not in Israel, but in northern Europe.
The object hit the Austrian Alps at a place called Kofels in the Salashi Valley.
According to Bond and Hemsel, there is no meteor crater in Kofels, Austria, because the asteroid exploded in an airburst several hundred meters above the ground. It has happened before, in Tunguska, Siberia.
In 1908, there was a near-Earth object impact in Tunguska, Siberia, which is well known, devastating area about 50 kilometers, and was an airburst explosion. This object that we're dealing with is 1,000 times greater.
Like the Tunguska asteroid, the biblical era event involved a massive airburst.
The asteroid itself was already in the process of disintegration. That's the reason that there is no actual crater.
And the biblical destruction did not come from this impact, but from the aftermath. In our quest for the truth behind Sodom and Gomorrah, we have searched the biblical text, archaeological and geological evidence, and ancient astronomy. If these interlocking puzzle links are correct, this then is the story of the destruction of Sodom from a scientific standpoint. 3123 BCE, the early Bronze Age. In a fertile region of the Middle East, a nomadic shepherd moves to one of the newly burgeoning cities near the Dead Sea. Some 600 miles to the east, Sumerian astronomers keep watch on the sky on the morning of June 29, 3123 BCE. At approximately 4:30 a.m., the astronomers witness something extraordinary and make a detailed record. The Bible says God sent messengers to warn Lot of imminent destruction. The messengers warn of a fiery catastrophe. But eyewitnesses in the city would have seen a strange sign in the sky above the Dead Sea.
If they were awake, they would have seen the object go almost directly overhead.
When a very large bright object appeared crossing the sky, speculation and hysteria would have been probably quite rife.
The object witnessed in Sodom and Sumeria is an Aten-class asteroid over 1 kilometer wide. The Bible says Lot and his family took warning and fled the city for the hills. The asteroid approaches the Austrian Alps faster than the speed of sound at a low trajectory. It clips the top of the peaks near Kofels Valley and explodes in a massive airburst.
out of that fireball would have been a plume sort of arching instantly high into the sky, passing right overhead and then back in the direction along the trajectory. That would have produced an arch right over the Mediterranean until, of course, the plume fell probably along the northern coast of Africa, stretching from the Levant down across Egypt.
The inhabitants of the cities beneath see one of the most beautiful and awesome sights in human history. 1 billion tons of asteroid debris falling over hundreds of square miles.
They would have seen something extremely strange spreading towards them. There would probably be quite a spectacular meteor shower in the sense of very tiny particles burning up at high altitude.
500 million tons of material falls from the sky, turning to flame as it descends. The flaming debris circulates the atmosphere as it falls, striking the ground with a pulse of heat over 500 degrees Fahrenheit.
It sees only for about a second, but that is enough to set anything that wants to catch fire on fire.
The plume from the asteroid destroys cities across the Dead Sea region, cities the Bible calls Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, and Sodom. There are few, if any, survivors of Sodom. The city is abandoned forever, leaving only ruins.